I'm not, I ain't going to take anymore. I am the eye in the sky. Does that mean we are the eye in the sky? Or are we the ones creating reality? Don't leave false illusions behind. What are they really saying? Leave false illusions behind. What are these false illusions? Here's another lyric. Don't cry because I ain't changing my mind. So find another fool like before, 'cause I ain't gonna live anymore believing some of the lies while all the signs are deceiving. What are the signs? Is the sun and the moon in the sky a sign of deception? Is the sun really 93 million miles away from the Earth? Are we really spinning on a tilted, wobbling axis at 1,000 miles an hour? What are the signs? Here's from Journey's Wheel in the Sky. And my wife and I were looking at this before the show, and we were trying to figure out, some of them you have to sit and look at the words and see what they're trying to program you. Winter is here again, O Lord. Haven't been home in a year or more. I hope she holds on a little longer. Sent a letter on a long summer day, made of silver, not of clay. I've been running down this dusty road. The wheel in the sky keeps on turning. I don't know where I will be tomorrow. The wheel in the sky keeps on turning. Now, the wheel in the sky keeps on turning. The way I see that is that about the flat Earth with the spinning light show overhead? Think about the examples of some of your favorite songs, or even of my favorite songs. I was raised on rock and roll. Growing up, I loved the music of AC/DC, The Doors, Led Zeppelin, Van Halen, Billy Joel, Boston, Foreigner, Rush, Blondie, Supertramp. And I'm sure you're listening to the show right now and you're yelling out to me your favorite bands. And I can't hear you, by the way, so you're welcome to go into the Night Dreams Talk Radio Network chat window and type your favorite artists in. Type in some of your command statements that you can think of that are in the songs. Think about this. This is important. This is important to your reality. This is important to my reality. It's my understanding right now, and I'm using understanding in the legal sense, and we haven't really gotten into legal English yet on the show so far. I've talked about legal English, the difference between legal English and slang English and formal English on my interviews that I did with Gary Anderson when he interviewed me on his show. But when I say it's my understanding in legal English, what I'm saying is I'm standing under and taking responsibility for this wisdom and knowledge. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Really, I guess in order it would be knowledge, wisdom, and then understanding. Because you receive the knowledge. I'm giving you knowledge. You're now knowing that there's a strong probability that there are these command statements that you're or affirming, making firm. Affirm means to make something firm, to bring it into reality. You affirm it. You say it over and over again. So in legal English, to understand means to stand under and take responsibility for. Like I've said before, when you go into a courtroom and the judge asks you, do you understand the charges against you? If you know what the words on the paper mean, like, reckless driving, he's saying, are you going to stand under and take responsibility for? Well, now you have the knowledge and the wisdom, and now it's up to you to be understanding, to stand under this, take responsibility for this information. Another one of my favorite bands, the Eagles, for instance. Look at the song Hotel California. What are some of the command statements in that song that you've been singing out loud to yourself with emotion for decades? Is the hotel in Hotel California really the Matrix? Listen to the lyric. Maybe you check out by dying, but you are recycled back in and can never leave the matrix. You can check out any time you like, but you can never leave. And that's from the song Hotel California. But if the mind only hears the command statement and not the negative, then maybe we can leave. The sentence in the song is, you can never leave. You can check out any time you like, but you can never leave. But maybe they are hiding the truth in plain sight and telling us that we can leave because the subconscious does not hear the word never. At least I hope not. I don't know. What do you think? I want your opinion. I want to know that you're out there and you're listening and you're receiving this knowledge and this wisdom and that it means something to you. What are your songs that you can think of off the top of your head about this? What about the song Heart of Glass by Blondie? Is it programming us all to have disastrous love relationships? Listen to your favorite songs now and pay attention to the command statements and what they are programming you to believe. You sing them out loud. And that's how you manifest affirmations. Music is emotional. You tie in words to music. You sing them out loud with emotion. And now you have a powerful mantra that you might very well manifest. I used to listen to Johnny Cash a lot. I used to sing him a lot. I used Johnny Cash as my vocal warm-up before I would do stage performances when I was doing a lot of live theater. I was performing a lot of live theater from around 2004, 2005 until about 2011, right before I moved to Los Angeles. And one of the songs that I would sing that took me about 2 years to memorize was the song I've Been Everywhere. You know, I've been to Reno, Chicago, Fargo, Minnesota, Buffalo, Toronto, Winslow, Sarasota, Wichita, Tulsa, Ottawa, Oklahoma, Tampa, Panama, Mattawa, Paloma, Bangor, Baltimore, Salvador, Amarillo, Tocopilla, Barranquilla, Amadillo, I'm a killer. So, Amadillo, I'm a killer. Listen to this, listen to the words. And I sang that song, and I never thought or realized at the time that I was programming myself. But that song, I've Been Everywhere, it names off all these cities that Johnny Cash had gone to, and he made a song about it. And so I sang that song about at least 1,000 times. In fact, about a month ago, I sang it for karaoke. And before you know it, I was traveling all over the place. I still am. All over the world, really. In fact, at the end of April, I am going to Auckland, New Zealand, to speak at the Flat Earth International Conference. And if you're interested, you can go on Facebook and check out the Flat Earth International Conference. And Adrienne Morrison is heading up the whole thing. And I believe Mark Sargent is going to be there. And I'm going to be speaking at the conference, and some of the premier speakers on the subject of the Flat Earth are going to be speaking at that conference. And I'm actually going to be going a little beyond the Flat Earth topic and into the simulation. It's not just that we're very likely living on a non-spinning sphere, and underneath a firmament or the barrier or the roof over our head that we can only go so far, and we can't even see the outer edge of our planet or whatever it is because we can't penetrate the firmament. That wheel in the sky keeps on turning. It's just a light show overhead. Everything's spinning around the North Star. So what do you think? Back to Blondie for a minute. Here's a weird and true story about the music industry that I have to share with you. And I'm going to get to the solution, by the way, because I'm not just saying this to say that we have a problem. I'm going to be giving you a solution that you can walk away from this show with, because that's what this is all about. This is a solution-oriented show. For years now, I've been listening to radio shows and the news, and I hear nothing but the problems, basically. And nobody's really offering us a solutions to the many problems that are plaguing every living soul in this domain. that we're living in. Anyway, here's a true story, and this is about the music industry. And this is kind of how I guess the music industry operates. This is an example of their mindset, what's important to them. I was living in Los Angeles in 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015. And during that time, I was working on getting into the Screen Actors Guild, which I finally did. So I was working on movies, TV shows as an extra, and I finally got eligible to join the Screen Actors Guild, and I joined it. And I was an extra, and I was an actor. In fact, I became eligible by acting in a SAG project, and that's how you get eligible. If you're an actor or you want to join the Screen Actors Guild, you have to become eligible. And then I joined SAG, and it cost about $3,300 to join, and I did. And you know, I've been a member ever since. So while I was in L.A., I was also working as a waiter, too. So I would work on movies and TV shows, and I would also wait tables for catering companies. I worked for Party Staff. And they're a real company. You can check them out. I think it's partystaff.com. So I worked at an event in downtown Los Angeles behind the Los Angeles Science Center. And behind the center on the street, a tent was set up, probably 50 yards by 20 yards. And now this is going to illustrate the kind of odd and disturbing things that go on behind closed doors in Hollywood or in the music and entertainment industry. Blondie performed inside the tent for the artist, and this whole event was being put on by the artist Marina Abramovich, and there were about 20 tables set up inside the tent. In the middle of each table was a hole, and a human being, male or female, was underneath the table on their knees with their head sticking up through the hole. And on their knees, because I saw them I had to help set up for this show. I had to, as a waiter, you show up, and banquet waiting, as a banquet waiter, you show up, you set up the tables, you put the tablecloth on the tables, you put the, silverware and the plates on the tables and the glassware, and you get it all set up. So these actors, or whatever they were, they showed up, and they got on their knees under the table, stuck their head up through the hole during dinner, during this whole process, and they slowly rotated in the circle on their knees, just kind of spinning around in place with their eyes open, fixed, wide open, and staring, trying the best they can not to blink. And they just had this dead deer in the headlights kind of look as they slowly spun in that hole. And then on the table, on each table also, not just with the head sticking up through the table, there was a naked woman on the table also spinning around. So the diners, I would say each table had about 10 guests sitting around the perimeter of the table as the table spun with a naked woman spread eagle on her back, totally naked, with this head sticking up out of the table. And then after dinner was served, Blondie came out and performed a couple of her classic songs like Rapture. Listen to that song. Listen to the words in the song Rapture. Naked bodies spinning on rotating tables with embodied heads on them of models with dead eyes staring at the dinner guests. It was weird. I was there as a waiter at the time. I was there. I served dinner to the guests. And then a protester broke in yelling about the wicked conspiracy going on in the Hollywood and the entertainment business and the music business, and she was corralled and dragged out screaming. It was a strange, I was excited to be in Hollywood, though, and I saw a lot of wild stuff. So what is the solution to this mind control through music that we're all experiencing? I'm so glad you asked that, Ronald. Well, here is what I have decided to do and what I'm doing about it. And I recommend that you do the same thing unless you don't care about having control over your own mind and would rather continue being unwittingly programmed by the mass media. And this doesn't just go on in the music, by the way. It's in movies, TV shows, the news, newspapers, magazines,